I need you to take full responsibility of your life, like complete full responsibility of your life. And you might not potentially like the message that I'm going to share today. It might feel really triggering, but if you want your life to change, if you want to get to a spot where you are thriving, where you are the best version of yourself, living the life of your dreams, then stay till the end. Watch till the end, because this is the message that you need to hear today. And oftentimes, what I tell my clients and patients is that the messages that trigger us the most are oftentimes the messages that we need to hear the most. So I'm sorry if it's triggering, but it's coming from a place of love. And that's how I want you to see this as. And so watch and hear this message until the end, because I have a feeling this is exactly what you need to hear today. I spent so much of my life living in victim mode, living in victim mindset, constantly blaming everybody else around me for the circumstances of my life, constantly blaming everybody else for the pain that I was internally experiencing. And when I look back at that time, and you might relate to that, right? You might relate to being in that spot where you're blaming maybe your work for how stressed out you are. Maybe you're blaming your parents for not raising you in the way that they should have raised you. And as a result of that, you don't have some of the certain skills that you wish you had. Or, blaming your partner for this, blaming your kids for this, or siblings, whoever, okay? There's just a lot of blame on the government. We all love to blame the government. We all love to blame these outside circumstances that are outside of our control. And I get it. To some aspect, I get it. There are so many things in our life that are outside of our control. So I can understand that, because there's so many things outside of my life that are outside of my control as well. But what starts to happen, and this is what I want you to really see, if you keep focusing on everything that is outside of your control, you will feel helpless in your life. You will feel powerless in your life. And you can't build anything great, anything beautiful from a place where you feel powerless and helpless. And that's what I'm trying to get at here is I want you to be able to build the most incredible life of your dreams. I want you to get a taste of what life is like when you are living as the best version of yourself, where you are consistently showing up for yourself, where you are taking care of your mind, of your body, of you, and just feeling good about yourself on an everyday basis. Because let me tell you, your entire life changes when you finally start showing up for yourself, when you finally start being the best version of yourself. Everything in your life changes. And it's wild, because I've seen that even in my life. Just the past few months, I've gone through so much growth. And for the first time in a very long time, I feel like I'm so proud of the reflection that stares back in the mirror. I'm so proud of the woman that I've become today. And it's been through a lot of hard work and pain that I've gotten to the spot that I am at today. And it's because I refuse to let the outside circumstances define me. And by no means am I saying I am at the place where I want to be at. I think there's always growth and evolution, and there's always that next place we can climb up to, which we're always chasing. And I am too. But when you are in this place where you are helpless, you don't take any action to do things differently, because you've already decided. You've already decided that you can't change things in your life, that you can't shift things in your life, that you're powerless, that no matter what you do, there is a force outside of you that's bigger than you, that's greater than you, that's going to dictate where your life goes. And I feel like this is different than faith, because I'm very much faith-based. I do believe in God. If you don't believe in God, believe in a universe, believe in something like a higher power than you. And I'm not talking about trusting that higher power, because I do believe that we are all on a path that is destined for us, and it is being guided through our higher power. But what I am talking about is when you let your life be defined by things like the government, how your parents raised you, what your partner says, when you let yourself be defined by all of these outside circumstances that aren't in your control, you never step into your power to actually do something different, because you've already decided that no matter what you do, things won't change. Things will always be horrible. And because you choose to focus on that, you continue to attract more things that fulfill that story. Like, it's literally a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you've decided you're helpless, you're powerless, you can't change anything in your life, you literally start to attract and pull things into your life that match that story. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to become, what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't want you to feel like you're helpless in your life just because your outside circumstances aren't the most ideal, just because you weren't raised in the ideal way. I want you to realize that the only thing that matters right now in your life is this very moment. This very moment. This is all that matters right now. Yes, maybe you come from a really hard childhood and past. I'm not trying to undermine all that. Yes, maybe you are dealing with some financial things that are outside of your control. Yes, maybe you're not in the best relationship. Yes, to all of these things, right? I don't want to undermine any of those feelings and experiences that you're having, but all that matters right now is this moment and who you choose to show up as right now. And you can choose to show up as the story that you're helpless and you're powerless. And what's going to happen if you show up as that version of that story, it's going to change the version of you that shows up right now in this moment. And the version of you that's showing up right now in this moment is the version of you that's building your future, is building the rest of your life. And that's what I want you to start seeing, is if you choose to show up as the helpless, powerless version of yourself right now in this moment, you are going to create a future that revolves around this helpless, powerless version of you. And I don't want that for you, because the life that you're trying to live, you're trying to build, that you desperately want, does not revolve around the helpless, powerless version of you. It revolves around the most powerful version of you. It revolves around that version of you that shows up for themselves every day, that takes the action steps no matter how hard life gets or feels. That is the version of you that you want building the life of your dreams, that version. And what I always like to remind my patients and coaching clients is that the past actually doesn't matter in the present moment. So many of us are carrying the heavy baggage of the past, and we carry it into every single present moment that we are in, every single present moment that we're in. We carry that heavy baggage and burden of the past. And because we're carrying so much of that heavy burden and baggage of the past into the present moment, the past is then what dictates the future, because we start showing up as that version of ourselves that is still carrying all of that past in the present moment. And because we choose to show up as that version of ourselves in the present moment, it's this version of ourselves that is creating the rest of our future. And that's what I want you to see here, is that if you choose to show up differently in the present moment, it doesn't matter what you've been through in the past. It does not matter at all what's happened in your past. All that matters is the version of yourself that you choose to show up right now in this very moment. And if you choose to show up as the version of yourself in this very moment, that version of yourself who is powerful, who takes full responsibility of their life to change things, to figure things, and I'm going to come back to this very shortly, but who takes full responsibility of their life. And if you choose to show up as this version of yourself right now in this moment, this is a version of yourself that creates your future. And that's what I want you to just start seeing. All that matters is this present moment here right now and the version of yourself that you choose to show up as. And every single moment that passes by is a moment where you can choose to show up as this version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. Every single moment that passes by. And that's what I want you to start seeing. So stop carrying the past in the present moment. Take full responsibility of your life. Yes, maybe those experiences and those circumstances brought you to where you are today, but they don't have to dictate your future. They don't have to dictate the rest of the moments of your life and what you choose to build moving forward. You get to decide that. You get to decide what the rest of your future looks like, and how you choose to show up on a moment by moment basis is what dictates what your future looks like. You don't have to let the past dictate the future anymore. You get to make the choice to just let things be. I have a very big, a lot of people talk about let things go, let it go, let it go. But you can't let things go. If you've been through extremely traumatic experiences in your past, I'm sure you would love to erase your memory and let all of that stuff go. But the truth is that those are experiences and moments that deeply impacted you, and you will probably never be able to let them go or ever forget them. How can you? And that's okay. But you can let them be And you can no longer give them the power to dictate how your future goes. So don't worry about letting things go. It's okay if you still think about the things of the past. I'd be lying if I said I didn't, okay? I think about past relationships and friendships and past things that I've been through. I don't let myself sit there, but those thoughts and those memories come up because these people and experiences and moments at some point were really big parts of my life, and that's okay. But the past doesn't rule my future. These past people, past experiences don't rule my future anymore because I'm not showing up as that past version of me who is carrying that heavy baggage of the past. I am choosing to show up as the greatest version of Bisleen that I can be right now in this very moment. And the choices that I make today, the version of myself that I choose to show up as now, is what is going to dictate the rest of the future and everything else that is going to follow. How empowering does life get when you start to see it this way? How empowering, how incredible does life start to feel when you start to realize the past doesn't matter. All that matters is who you choose to show up as today. And some of you might be wondering, like, okay, but like, because of my past, I am in this financial situation, or because of my past and how my parents raised me, I am now in this situation. And I get that, we, as a result of our experiences and things we've been through, we might find ourselves in these really hard, difficult places that we are in right now. And what I want you to think about is, what is the way out of it? What is the plan out of it? Because I'm such a big believer also in the fact that no matter what you have been through, we as humans are so resourceful, so smart, so capable of figuring out our next steps. And it was Marie Forleo. I love this quote. She's the one, I'm pretty sure she's the one that came up with it. And she said that everything is figure-outable. Everything is figure-outable. And I'm such a big believer in that as well. Maybe you were raised in a family where money was always scarce and tight. And maybe now as an adult, money feels really scarce and tight. And I want you to ask yourself, what is my way out of this? If everything is figure-outable and you no longer want to live in scarcity with money or have the current financial problems and situations that you're in right now, what is the way out of it? Maybe if you're in debt, that looks like you reeling back on your spending. Maybe it looks like you looking at other avenues to make more money and looking at and creating that step-by-step plan for yourself, because everything's figure-outable. And yes, maybe it might take a little bit of time for you, but you can get to that spot that you want to get to. You can. I'm such a big believer in the fact that literally anybody can. And it's all about looking at what is that plan for you. Maybe you need to get help and support and sit down with someone else, but there's always a way out of things. And when you start to take radical responsibility of your life and where you're at and the circumstances you're in right now, it gives you the power to see that if you got yourself here, you are the one who's going to get yourself out of this. Which is really powerful, which means that you are the complete ruler of your life. You are the complete ruler of your destiny, and you get to choose what happens next. You get to choose how long you stay here, how quickly you leave. You get to choose all of that by taking the action steps, by showing up as the ultimate, most powerful version of yourself right now in this very moment, because that is all that matters right now. I really, first of all, if you've stayed up until this point, I hope that fire is starting to light up within you. That fire of, I can make a difference in my life. If I take full responsibility of where I'm at, I can change my future. It doesn't matter what I've been through in the past. All that matters is who I choose to show up as today, right now, in this very moment. And today I choose to show up as the greatest version of myself, as the best version of myself. And I choose to take powerful action towards the life that I want to build, towards the life of my dreams. That's what I want for you. And again, take this from someone who was stuck in anxiety and depression. Take it from someone who spent so much of her life living in victim mindset, not realizing how powerful and incredible I really am to build a life of my dreams. And that's what I really want you to see from this video today. So what are you going to do with this information now? Now that this fire is starting to be lit, what are the action steps to follow? So 1, from this moment onwards, you are taking radical responsibility of your life. If situations and circumstances come up that don't make you feel so good, I want you to pause and look at how you want to respond to these things. Because if you're constantly in reaction mode, you are letting these outside circumstances control you, dictate you, and that's what we don't want. If you want to stand in your power, you have to get so choosy about your responses to things in life. And it's about no longer responding from victim mindset. It's no longer responding from that place of, why does this happen to me? Why don't things ever go my way? My life is always like this. No matter what I do, I'm stuck in this space. That is victim mindset. Call it out for what it is. And I want you to go from victim mindset to the power mindset. The power mindset of like, this sucks, because we always acknowledge our emotions. We always validate our experiences. It's not about ignoring our emotions. Let yourself sit in the feelings for as long as you need to. And then look at, what can I do about this? What can I do about this? Clearly, this is not a favorable circumstance. This is not something that I want. So what can I do about this? What can I do so that things end up going in my favor? Because everything is figure-outable, and I can figure my way out through this and get to the place that I want to. Because the truth is that no matter how good you get at supporting your nervous system, no matter how good you get at managing your emotions, life is always going to throw things your way. Life will always throw things your way. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It's life, okay? Life is always gonna life. I feel like every time I feel like I'm in a place where I'm like, yeah, I got this, it's like, boom, you're just hit with another test. But now I have the mindset of like, let's go, bring it on. It's like a video game, right? It gets a little bit fun going like, oh my God, okay, like, how am I gonna figure my way out of this? How am I gonna help this, let this become the best version of me through this work that I'm gonna do right now? Like, what am I gonna do about this? So it almost becomes like a fun game, but you might not be there yet where you can start to see things as a fun game. I just want you to focus on taking responsibility of your life. And the next step is to start seeing all of this as like a fun game, and how can you really up level to that place that you essentially want to get to. So this is all that I want you to take away from today's video. Take radical responsibility. Know that every single thing in your life is figure-outable, and that you can do this. And if you want to stop doing this alone, if you want to stop figuring out this alone, if you want real support to help yourself move through that victim mindset through to a powerful mindset, build that unshakable mindset, learn how to support your nervous system, learn how to really step into the most powerful version of yourself, I want to really welcome you to join the Nervous System Academy. It's honestly been such a beautiful community that we have really built, where we are helping each other support our nervous system. I walk all my members through the RISE method that I've created, working with thousands of patients. And the best part is that I've really tried to make this support be really, really affordable. I think so many coaches out there just charge thousands of dollars for health programs, and it hurts my heart, because I'm like, good health is so easy and simple. At least that's what I try to make it for my patients. And I know that not everybody can even afford one-on-one services with me. And so I really wanted to create a platform where I can make a really big impact in the world. And it's incredible to see how this platform is already helping members and people do that. So come join us. I welcome you. You will get that personalized support from me as well. And it's just such a beautiful community to be part of. So I'll share the link below so that you can learn more about that. But in the meantime, take full radical responsibility of your life. Remember that everything is figure-outable. And most importantly, don't forget that all that matters is who you choose to show up right now in this moment. This is all that matters. And if you just choose to embody and show up as that version of yourself that is the most powerful version, you're going to become so unstoppable and literally build the life of your wildest dreams, which is exactly what I want for you.